While David runs over, we can get started. So we'll go ahead and come down here. Okay, so wait, what's that, David?
Which team should I choose?
Not blue. Anything else but blue.
So red then.
Yes. Oh, is that the only one? Okay. Oh, I guess it is. Crazy. Alright, let me go ahead and ping the build again. Now, you're going to be running full Celestials. You can opt out for a few Berserker pieces if needed. Like I have Berserkers, Greatsword, and Longbow. For the armor runes, I go with Durability. Now, that's optional. I prefer having that slight bit of... Like, I prefer being slightly more tanky. So I always go with Durability, unless I want to throw in some Balthazar runes for... What's it called? Added condition damage. And yeah, the weapons are the longbow and greatsword. I'll be going over some variations later on. Majority of this training will be for the celestial build though. All right, so things you want to know are the Dragonhunter offers a lot of group utility. So like one of the things you may hear some commanders call out for, and once we start getting more dragon hunters, I'll probably call out for them too, are baby gates. Baby gates are these here, or this skill here. Some people just yell out gates, but the reason we throw these out is for the cripple. You know, it's a really long range CC. One thing you want to use this for is, David, start moving like to the right or to the left. Let's say that he's the enemy group. You're going to want to aim your baby gates towards the tail. Now remember that there's a slight delay before it drops and starts, you know, crippling and damaging them. But you're going to want to aim for the tail, and as soon as people start getting crippled, that's like a good sign for larger CCs, like the Renegade, what is it, that 1200 range CC with the hammer and a range bomb. And it also lets us go in for more aggressive pushes. So if we drop gates, some people are crippled, we could, you know, F3 and leap in onto them. And your leap has a 4-second demote. Yeah, so there's that there. Other things to look at are if you do go with scepter and torch. One good thing about the scepter is, I mean the torch is, let me switch to it. Oops, I can't switch anything. Okay, so the thing about torch 5 is it'll also cleanse conditions. So if we are lacking scrappers, we're lacking cleanse, one thing you could do is just throw on the scepter torch and thank you. And while we're circling around the enemy or running through them, you can also like stand a tiny bit back so that you're also hitting your allies, just for that additional Condi removal. Let's see. Oh yeah, also I don't know if I'm going too fast, so, you know, feel free to speak up. Let me know if you have any questions. But the primary role of this is utility and damage. So first thing we'll go over is the range poke. So go ahead and stand on the heart, you guys, on the other team. All right, so let's say we're going in for a range poke. On my tag, we're gonna move up, stop right here, and then you're gonna want to go, what's it called? Longbow 4, 3, and then 2, and then move back. But you're not gonna, obviously, you won't want to just stand there and take whatever they're throwing back. One good thing about this range poke is the longbow 3. I don't know if you see that kind of dome thing around it. That not reflects, but it blocks projectiles. So dropping longbow 4, then 3 immediately after gives you that like kind of a counter to their counter poke. And you know, as they're moving away, the reason I put skill longbow 2 last is because if they are moving away, you'll be able to hit them with the extra 300 range, because that's the 1500 range poke. Now, let's see. Let's go
They
ahead.
can reflect the 3, right?
I think the 3 can be reflect and the 2 can be reflected too.
Oh, I just got disconnected.
Oh no. Are you still able to you can watch the stream if you DC'd until you're back on.
But you can continue.
Okay. As far as the range push goes, you guys have any questions? I mean, range poke?
So 3-2, no, 4-3-2.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you're able to cast those pretty much instantaneously. So, like, there's no animations you have to wait for, no casting time. And people watching this video are going to see I don't have the fast action one. You know, you click and release. I know it adds that split second, but
Why don't you use that?
I have the habit of dropping things. Like, you know how you can cancel it with right click? Sometimes I won't right click to cancel, and I'll just drop it. What is it? Fast with range indicator?
Yeah.
Think
Yeah.
so.
All right. So, for the aggressive engages, one thing you'll want to do is, let's say we follow through with the baby gates. So, get to me. We're gonna push up. Oh, you guys can stay at the heart. All right, thanks. We're gonna push up in 3, 2, 1, push. We're gonna stop right here and drop gates. So after we've dropped gates on them, what I like to do is move up and drop Sword of Justice. So that's this one here, your spinning swords. Then I cast my F3, and that'll block projectiles, and I'll leap in with F2. By that time, I should have switched over to my Greatsword. I'll drop another Sword of Justice, the Procession of Blades, and then I'll drop my symbol, so Greatsword 4, then 2. If at any time during this, oh, you can res. If at any time during this you feel like you need to be a little more tanky, your health is going down a little bit too fast, you can heal. You can use your heal, but the thing is you won't be able to cast any skills while you do it. So I added renewed focus, and that'll give you 3 seconds of invulnerability. You are not invulnerable to knockbacks or anything like that. So that's still something you'll want to watch out for, and it's important to go in with stability. But yeah, if we are not using gates and we are pushing in aggressively, then while running in, I'll drop the Sword of Justice, and that's to pop the Aegis. And immediately after dropping the Sword of Justice on them, I pop my F3, leap in, go in with another Sword of Justice, drop my trap, press 4, then 2. And yeah, that'll pretty much be my whole aggressive engage. like the burst, and then from there I, just start dropping utilities. So yeah, let's see. Yeah, so with the aggressive engage without the baby gates, yeah, that's exactly what I do. So Sword of Justice to get rid of any Aegis, Shield of Courage so that blocks any incoming projectiles while we leap over. So then it's leap. So Symbol of Resolution I usually pop after I do my other utilities. So I drop Sword of Justice, then the Trap, and then I go with the Greatsword skills. But yeah, that's the rotation I go with. Oh yeah, no problem. Also, if you're able to, I mean, once you like start focusing on a target, I like to throw the 5 skill, and then just auto drop the 4, 2, and what's it called? Really anything else that you can. And the auto, it doesn't do too much damage, but I mean it adds like for me it's like 3,000 something damage just by being connected to them. And you do have the option to pull if they run away. If you're gonna attempt to pull them, just make sure they don't have stab, otherwise it's just a waste. But yeah. Now let's see. Let's go ahead and try that out. Anyone want to try these? I don't know. Probably 2 versus 2 would be good. Anyone want to try either the longbow poke or the greatsword engage?
All right, fine.
Hey, where are you guys located right now?
We are in what's it called? Edge of the Mists. So if you open up the World v World panel, it'll be on the right side.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and once you get in, you're gonna go south of the waypoint, and there's gonna be a portal that goes to the Edge of the Mist arena. All right. Devi or Kai, either of you guys want to go next? Devi steps back. Yeah, and one thing I forgot to mention about the what's it called? Poking with the longbow is the thing isn't to deal tons of damage. It's to go up there and cast some skills. The what is it? The longbow 4 does do a decent amount of damage. It does okay. But we're not really expecting to down anyone. If we do down anyone, that's fantastic. But it's more to get them to use their skills. We're more likely to pick people off if they're strafing and we are. So like if we're moving left and they're moving right and we drop our gates and we happen to cripple some of their backline, then we can go in with a larger range poke. Larger range bomb, sorry. And also, if you see downs, drop the Sword of Justice on top of them. There's a good chance if we have a few of these dropped on them, that person's gonna die. Whenever I see downs, especially if there are multiple downs, I don't hesitate to drop one of my Swords of Justice on them, and maybe even a few skills. Even the longbow 111 does enough, like on top of the Sword of Justice.
I'm sorry. I apologize. I am lost trying to find you guys.
It's okay. Where are you right now?
I'm in.
outside.
Okay,
job.
thanks.
I'm in the edge of the mist right now, and I'm like
Yeah,
trying
I'm
to figure out how to get
I'll
to you.
I'll show you.
All right, cool.
All right, so any questions so far? It's a pretty straightforward class.
Mm-hmm.
I know that the engages, like, I say to do these things in order, but majority of them you can do out of order. The only things I'd recommend doing are at least the Sword of Justice, F3, and then leaping in with the F2. The only reason is because, you know, the Aegis. And if you leap in with F2 and they still have Aegis, then that's not going to do anything. You know, that's instantly going to be blocked. So the rest of the skills, like say you're in Greatsword, you go in with those and you want to drop the trap first, then Sword of Justice, then the symbol, then Rolling Wrath, you know. That's perfectly fine. Don't think too hard about it. Yeah.
Do you ever
Can you
use
go back to the
F1?
overgrowth waypoint?
Yeah, I do. There is a passive effect for F1. And when you're within range, you normally want the passive effect to be like, to be going on. Like, let's see. So every few seconds it'll burn the enemy. But sometimes I will use the active effect and it'll stack the burning on that person. And that's just additional damage to that one person. If I'm like chasing someone down, I'll do that. And I'll also use it to pull people in. Yeah, so some of the pulls that I use are actually the F1. Oh. All that stab. Good. And then Greatsword 5. That's another one. So Greatsword 5, if you cast it on them, make sure your chain links and then pull them, then you're good. With the Greatsword 5, if they run out of range, then the link breaks. Also, you don't want to stack on way too much stability with your Firebrand, especially when we're going into melee range. Let's say you and the Firebrand use Stand Your Ground. All right, Tevi, let's use Stand Your Ground at the same time. Go ahead and use it.
Too late.
Oh,
Sorry.
okay, no worries. All right, so we have
Hi,
10
yeah.
stacks of stability. All right, 10 stacks of stability. We go into melee range and instantly corrupts those 10 stacks, or they strip the 10 stacks. You'd want to have Stand Your Ground on one of your Firebrands going in at least, just so if it gets stripped, then the really long cooldown, the really long duration of Stand Your Ground, stability, and what's it called? Stability in general can still be used. So like one thing you'd want to do is if your Firebrand is popping their elite and you're getting baby stabs, they use Stand Your Ground when you go in. As soon as you lose it, you can pop your stand your ground. It's also a really good stun break, so yeah, that's one thing to keep in mind too. Were you able to find us?
I did.
Okay,
Yes.
perfect.
Oh,
I'm
not
sorry.
here.
I didn't want to interrupt while I was teaching,
Oh,
but
you're good.
I actually saw you, and I thought you pointed me at the portal because you ran right past me. So I was like, oh.
Oh.
You must have loaded on my screen yet.
Right. So, one more thing is, all right, red team, start hitting me. So there are a bunch of blocks, you know, dodges are blocks. So if you need to block a ton of damage and you've gone through both of your dodges, you switched weapons and dodged again, and you don't have your elite, then you can pop your heal. And that is 2 seconds of blocks there. So that just gives you more time to get your cooldowns. Hopefully you'll get stand your ground by then and you're able to leap away.
You're recommending using shelter as the heal?
Shelter?
Yeah, you said blocking while healing, right?
Yeah. So when I'm getting away, sometimes I'll use that instead of just like if we're going in and I'm just trying to heal. Sometimes I'll use that as like when I'm disengaging from a fight, just to get away. Also, be sure that if you're trying to run away and you want to use your Greatsword 3 to run away, you're not targeting anyone, because if you're targeting someone that you're running away from, you will leap to them. Pretty sure if you remove target, you're able to run away from them. Yeah. So say I'm running by them, he's targeted, I untarget them, and I use my Greatsword 3. Then I'm able to leap away with it. But yeah, if you're targeting someone, targeting an enemy and trying to run away, and the enemy's up behind you, then no matter how far you are from the enemy, you're gonna leap back towards them, and that's not something you want to do with something squishy like a Dragonhunter.
I've done that on Necro before on accident.
Which skill?
It's the Reaper Shroud.
Oh, okay.
It's F2. Not F2, but I think it's the 2.
The Shroud
In
2?
Shroud.
Yep.
Yeah, it's the 2.
Oh, is that the whirlwind thing when you run up to
have
them?
someone targeted and you're just like
It
running
is.
back in and you're just like, no.
Yeah. All right, let's see. So we went over the range poke, aggressive engage, the melee burst. So some of the variations are the scepter. Let me try to get out of combat or something so I could switch my weapons. Yep, I'm out of combat here. Okay, so I'm gonna throw on a scepter and torch. Whoops. Scepter and yeah, where's my torch? Oh, I'm dumb. There it is. So yeah, one of the variations I use is Scepter Torch. I use this pretty often. Like, I love my scrappers, but sometimes I get a hold of my get ahead of myself and get off tag. You didn't hear that, Chris?
Sure.
So the additional things, some of the things I like from this are when you're within range and you use Zealot's Flame. So you use it once and don't use it again, because if you use Zealot's Fire, then you basically cancel it early. If you use that, what you're doing is dealing pretty much consistent damage as long as it's active, and you'll see the you'll see the Zealot's Flame buff on your buff bar. So what I like to do is once I'm within range, like let's say I'm leaping in, pop Zealot's Flame, I drop my Sword of Justice, my traps, make sure Zealot's Flame is still in use. Then I did it out of order, but I'll drop my Scepter 2 and then go into Cleansing Flame. And I think I mentioned earlier that when I do use Cleansing Flame, I try to make sure that there are a few of my friends in front of me, just so when I'm burning the enemy, it's cleansing conditions from friends. Yeah, so that's one of the variations. One of the things I really like about this too is there is this emote. So if I'm trying to target one person and they're getting away, then I'll move them and drop as much as I can on them. But there are some traits that I change, forgot to mention. So if you go with the, what's it called? The Scepter Torch, you'll want to go into, I think it's both Zeal and Radiance. So in Zeal, you switch a Symbolic Avenger to Eternal Armory, and that just adds more Condi damage by giving you burn damage to your Sword of Justice. And then for what is it, under Radiance, you switch, I think it's the Righteous Instinct. Yeah, Righteous Instincts for Amplified Wrath. And since you're going to be pumping out burning with
I don't have enough energy.
like your Zealot's Flame, your Sword of Justice, and your Cleansing Flame, then switching those trait lines just stack more burning. And yeah, that's one of the things I like to add to my kit. Oh, one more thing about Cleansing Flame. If you're using it, make sure you don't cancel it. You're going to want to use it all the way up until the end. At the end, that's when it applies the burning. Like, it won't do it, I think, until the last hit. So you're not going to be dealing any Condi until that very last hit. So, yeah. Let's see. And I think that's it for the Scepter Torch variation. You guys have any other questions so far? Want to do some practice?
I missed the first part of the practice, so I apologize. I was on the phone with my boss, but
Oh, it's okay. I have this recorded, so it'll be up this weekend.
okay, cool.
Yeah.
But I'm more than willing to try and fuck somebody up.
Okay. Are you on your Dragonhunter right now?
Yeah.
Okay. Perfect. So go ahead and make sure. Are you on in the squad too?
I am.
Okay. Perfect. Okay. Go ahead and those are your targets right ahead, right at the heart. Feel free whenever. I made sure David was here so that we can prove that Dragon Hunters are superior to warriors. Just kidding. Just kidding, David.
I'm ready for Guardian Night.
Oh yeah, me too.
That'll be good, yeah.
Yeah. Been a while.
What was the last theme night we did?
Thief Night. I heard you guys did a Ranger Night. I don't think I was there, but yeah.
How often are theme nights? Ooh, voice crack. How often are theme nights?
Every so often, every few months, I think.
Okay, that makes sense why I haven't seen one yet.
Yeah.
It's been a little while, though. We are due
long.
for one.
Yeah. For a while, I think we did it, like, kind of frequently. Not, obviously not, like, every single month, but yeah.
Really not doing enough damage here.
It's okay.
Oh, have you loaded the build?
I have not. Is that the one that Criff the Holy posted?
Yes, that one there, yeah.
Let me because I'm running Valor instead of Radiance.
That'll take down your damage, yeah.
You cannot perform this action while in combat. Okay.
Yeah, run up the stairs. And it's okay if you can't kill David. He made sure that we can't kill him.
He was ready for this. All right, I'm gonna bring Berserker to the game.
Okay.
Let's see.
Go, go, go.
Still,
I'm curious why you picked the stuff that you picked.
Okay, so go ahead and ask questions about the build, and yeah.
So, I guess number one, we can start with just the Dragonhunter line itself.
Okay.
So I'm running dulled senses. So I'm running like 2, 1, 3. So I'm running dulled senses, Hunter's Determination, and Big Game Hunter.
Okay. And you're
Is
wondering
that-
why I'm running other things?
Yeah, like I'm curious why you're running the Dragonhunter line, because I actually have none of the same talents that you're
Okay.
using.
So for Soaring Devastation,
Yep.
when we are like making an aggressive engage, like let's say David stand right there. We go in and I drop a 4-second emote on him. Now we're likely to do that to the tail if they're trying to kind of disengage, and we're trying to catch some of them. Then the emote will be fantastic, especially if like on the tail it's just the slower people who aren't anywhere near their scrappers or firebrands. Then
How many targets does that hit?
That one, I believe it hits 5.
Okay.
Yep,
Endurance
5.
running low.
Okay, gotcha.
you've also got a 25% movement speed increase. That's pretty nice.
Yeah, I gotcha.
I didn't even notice that.
And I didn't either. I was like,
Yeah.
why would you run this? And now I'm like, okay,
I'm so
got it.
used to stacking like swiftness. Yeah. As for Zealot's aggression, so when we're in melee range, one of the great things about being able to, so like let's say I'm hitting, right? I'm just using my 1-1-1 skill. I mean my basic attack, and I'm also applying cripple. Within melee, if they're trying to disengage and they have cripple, they can't cleanse it, then they're going to be left behind. They're more likely to be susceptible to some of our more aggressive like melee bombs.
So if you're not, because I'm using a greatsword and a longbow,
Yeah.
and greatsword doesn't have a cripple on its attack, does it? No, it doesn't.
No, but so it's not crippling, but what it does is it procs the passive, or so the passive from your Spear of Justice, the passive effect will also cripple. So while you're just doing basic attacks, so the longbow is crippling. Let me switch to Greatsword. Basically, the whole point is if you are in either Scepter or Greatsword, you're still able to apply cripple within melee range. Let me throw my Greatsword back on.
That's cool. I didn't know I did a cripple the cripple thing with the auto attacks.
So, as you see, I'm just hitting my 1 skill. Anytime the passive from the F1 procs, it also cripples them. I know it's not a super long cripple, it's only a second
Still
and a
long
quarter.
enough to fuck
Yeah.
someone up.
Yeah. And
Got it.
Even a little
for...
stumble can make someone trip.
Oh, yeah.
Time to do some real damage.
And for the stability, really it's just, stability is fantastic in World v World. If you don't have stability, a lot of things can happen to you. And yeah, maybe you're not going to be pulling or CCing people too much besides the Condi CCs like Cripple, Emob, and things like that. But if you do happen to get one of these off, then and like successfully pull, that just adds to what's it called? The stability that you can get.
Yeah, if you don't have stability, you're likely going to become a ping pong ball.
Yeah. Like if we're doing even a range poke, and we move up and you're really far from your firebrand, let's say the commander's right here and you're over here, you don't get stabbed, they can pull you like easy. I think it's the Necros if they do run Spectral Grasp. That's a 1200 range pull, right? And I think the Gravwell is like 900 range plus a 600 range pull on top of that. So yeah, stability does a whole lot in World v World, and not having it when you need it can
Time to do some real damage.
easily destroy your team.
You've got a damage boost on there too for any enemies you hit that are disabled. So even if you don't disable them, if one of our warriors or something disables them and you hit them, you get that damage increase.
So what do you have? So what do we have that's considered as a disable that you could use to get stability on demand, right? Because like, the key part of stability is being able to choose when you have it.
So some of the things you can do is like Greatsword 5. So look at my buffs. I pull, I get stability. Also with the
Sword of Justice has cripple on it as well, yeah.
yeah. Well, the cripple doesn't count for the what's it called? The CCs, because we're because cripple is a soft CC or a conditioned CC, whereas things like pull, knockback, stun, I think daze.
Okay, hard CC and soft CC is new terms to me.
Oh yeah, no worries.
CC in general I knew, just soft and hard is new.
Yeah.
But stability, like on demand, you always have your stand your ground, which every
Yeah.
guardian should have anyway.
Do your best to look at your skill bar. If guardians are doing a fantastic job giving you stability, then all of a sudden you don't have any, even though you're standing near the firebrands. They may just be out of skills. You still have your stand your ground, and yeah, like it's always like a good failsafe.
Okay. So stand your ground's another one that I wasn't actually using, which is funny, because you're like,
Very
gotta have it.
Yeah. One thing is on your utility bar, no matter what you're playing, make sure you have a stun break.
Yeah, I use Judge's Intervention.
Okay.
Not enough endurance.
So my Judge's Intervention is my stun break that I use,
Okay.
because it's a I can use it aggressively and defensively. So it's
Yeah.
like you can use it to teleport in, but you can also use it kind of like Untargeted Sword 3, where you can detarget and teleport out.
Okay.
And since it's like a insta-cast teleport, I use it to for positioning purposes. Because normally if I'm using a stun break, it's like I'm in the wrong place at the wrong time, right? Like if I'm using a stun break, I've got a problem.
Yeah.
Oh, but I see that stand your ground affects more people though.
Yeah.
Time to do some real damage.
So I could see where that'd be useful in a Zerg.
Yeah. So like everything we're going over is for group content.
Yeah, I got it.
I actually run judge's intervention sometimes in what's it called, PvP, but I do not touch PvP ever anymore. Carrie knows that.
As you should.
But yeah, so that's it for the power build. So I recommend, or I suggest people get Celestial stats, but Marauders is good. That's actually one of the preferred ways to play it. And there are some people who play full Berserkers in what's it called? In Zergs, and if you, I mean, if you can pull it off, then fantastic. That's
You got
lots of
hella
damage.
support, then yeah, I
Yeah.
can imagine it'd be really strong.
Yeah. But besides that, let me look at my notes before I touch on Condi Dragonhunter. So I think I went over the group utility, but I'll go over them again, just for the sake of doing it. Things like Longbow 5 are what you may hear for sometimes, referred to as baby gates or gates. So the Longbow 5 will just apply cripple, using it on their back line when they're strafing left, right, or running away. Will cripple their back line, and if they're more likely to be away from any firebrands or scrappers or anyone to cleanse them. So the cripple will just sit on them, and if you see someone crippled, just go ahead and throw in a range bomb. If you don't hear for it, and we're not fully moving back, then yeah. Other things are, let's see, Purging Flames. Oh yeah, one of the things you can throw on instead of Procession of Blades is Purging Flames, especially if you're running more Condi, and that will also add to your Condi cleanse. So let me throw that on right now. So I sub out Procession of Blades for that, and I am not out of combat yet. There we go. Purging Flames. It's a 900 range AoE like burning skill, so it'll pulse burns. Before it would be like if the enemy would walk in and out of the circle, then they'd get burned. But now I think it just pulses. And when friends run through it or stand on top of it, Condis will be removed. So yeah, like that's one good thing to add. But yeah, the Dragonhunter does have the Condi cleanse on it. It's just not nearly as strong as other classes, of course.
I swapped teams to put up reflex so you
Okay.
guys can see what it feels like when you shoot stuff and get shot back at you. Like shoot at
Okay.
this, shoot at me. Here's another one. You have the potential to hurt the team and not just yourself with, I think, the larger attack, the circle attack. Like, that'll come back and burn the whole team.
Wait, did that one... I don't think it reflected it. I think something absorbed it. Right.
Get another one.
Yeah, I'm definitely hurting myself on reflex.
So yeah, just kind of remember what those look like. If you see it, don't shoot at it. Just use one of the other attacks. Like, the gates won't be reflected, but...
Yeah.
Anything that has a projectile to get there will be reflected back. And the longbow 4 unfortunately does.
Not enough endurance.
I got 30 seconds before I can do it again. Here's a wall of reflect.
Oh, I guess it doesn't reflect the deflecting shot. It should reflect the few shot like 100% though. Maybe. Wait, it is a projectile. That's odd. Let me try it again. Nice.
Okay.
That's awesome. I had no idea.
Testing, yeah.
You got me down to half with just 3 clicks.
Yeah, I usually just throw it out and hope for the best.
Wonder how many times you fucked over teammates with that.
Never, because it doesn't reflect.
Doesn't reflect what you're talking about.
No, David.
And a
No, I'm
bubble.
kidding.
For great justice. There's one to remember me by.
But yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Besides the Condi portion, so with Condi, it's just full Trailblazers, either durability or Balthazar runes. And let me see.
Time to do some real damage.
Do you how do you feel the differences on damage with your Condi versus Sully?
It's easier to do damage on the Sully build, I think. Especially burst damage. There's a lot more burst damage. But if you are in, like, you're constantly fighting, you're gonna stack more damage with the Trailblazers.
You need me to hop in?
It's up to you. We're pretty much almost done, but if you'd like to mess around at the end, this is perfect time.
Because I'm the Condi Dragonhunter. If you need any examples.
Yeah, I have my build here, but if you want to come in, feel free, unless you're doing something.
Ah, okay, never mind then.
Okay. Yeah, so with Condi Dragonhunter, pretty much the same thing. All the engages are the same. You will run Purging Flames instead of the Procession of Blades, most likely. It's perfectly fine to run Procession of Blades, but instead of the Renewed Focus, I run the Dragon's Maw. You could afford it. You know, you're a lot more tanky. You'll take way more damage, and this pull is just, like, you know, fantastic. But yeah, the same thing applies to this as the other build. Besides, like, some of the things we choose, I think, instead of, what's it called? What was it, Zeal? We bring Virtues for the top one, and it'll be like 3, 2, 1. That'll be the build for Condi. But you have to be patient. You have to play. You have to, like, focus your damage a lot more, and you will get really good DPS. And if you run, oh yeah, one thing you can do is swap out Purging Flames for the Reflects, and whenever you reflect projectiles, you'll, just stack a bunch more condies onto the enemy.
I want to feel the range of this Condi burst salamander. Let's see.
Okay. All right. Who am I fighting?
The guy jumping with Twilight.
Okay. Let me get my cooldowns. Black, please.
The white spider over there.
Alright, so here you're just playing the long game. I'm going to go in without Shield of Courage because that's 20 seconds too long. And going in.
13, 14, 15, 16. Yeah, okay.
Oh, wait, no, I don't want to finish you on a...
Good job resisting your bloodlust.
It's a training, not trying to... It's a full kill everyone.
I mean, that looked like a shit ton of damage.
Yeah, if you can stack the skills right, you can do it. One of the issues is making sure you trust your support. Trust them enough to stay on tag, because some people will stray away and think that things like just having stand your ground is enough, or just having stand your ground, 2 dodge rolls and shelter is enough. Like, yeah, that's fantastic, but we're playing as a group. This is group content, and you'll do so much more if you trust your support, and we're all playing like really well. Like if you have your stab, your cleanses taken care of, then you could just worry about getting in there and dealing the damage you need to. But if you're dodging away from tag, or running off to the side, running away from tag because you think that running through damage away like to an open field will be safer, then you're just distancing yourself from your friends. And I don't ever expect to kill David. I'm just gonna give up on that. But yeah, that pretty much sums it up. Yeah, that first one is pretty much just the power or celestial build. That's what I play what I usually play whenever I'm playing Dragonhunter with New. That's one of the builds I like the most, but sometimes I want to go in more aggressive and I want to be more tanky, so I go in with Trailblazers. Any other questions before we wrap this up?
Why is Criff a jerk?
Who was that?
Somebody was pulling me throughout the whole training. I don't know.
Oh, my.
But yeah, if you guys want, we can split up into teams and just go until we're all dead.
Nice.
All right, so we are currently 4 and 3. Den, you in here? Sick. Okay. So
Should I come back?
it's up to you.
Is it even or uneven right now?
It's uneven.
Okay, I'll come back.
Okay. Yeah, I'll end recording here. No one needs to see me die to a bunch of dragon hunters.